Hello and welcome back to FPL Double Pivot. Happy New Year, and it's time for more football. Game week 20. We're just going to delve straight into it. Kieran, how are you doing? We've chatted a little bit more than normal at Christmas and New Year, but we saved most of it for the chat, which is obviously good. How was your New Year been, mate? And how's everything in general, apart from obviously your amazing rank, which that's what everyone's on here for. But we'll leave that to later, mate. How have you been?
Yeah, I've still got the flu or virus or whatever's going around. So New Year's was, I would say it was a quiet one. It was relatively quiet. I jumped in my car sort of just before midnight to drive to a spot along the beach where you can see the harbour one way and the ocean the other way,
Yeah.
and got there just in time for the fireworks. Coughed my way back into the car, drove home, got home, and ended up watching the season finale of Stranger Things. So ended up, despite being ill, up until about 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah,
Oh,
not really the craziest New Year's ever, but what about yourself?
Well, listen, with the family, it's been non-stop. I said to you, I was literally building goals and basketball stanchions. Literally just done this, flying out to more skiing tomorrow, mate. So, but that's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm probably just going to stay up, look at a little bit of FPL and decide my transfers, mate. But just to quickly get you on that one, I started Stranger Things for the first time, and it's amazing. What have I been doing, missing out the whole time? It is phenomenal. Even just, like the music at the start. Love it. I'm hooked. Bam. Music's got me. But yeah, Happy New Year to everybody and everyone that's in the chat. Prodigy's in. Hippie's in. Heather's in. I'm sure Colin will be in. Everyone's in, me. It's going well. Listen, talking of going well, someone's broken into, the upper echelons or the 0.01% of the game. Is
I
it
popped in for a
0.01%?
moment.
Might even be
I
better.
stopped there for a moment. I
Popped
stopped in
in
the top
for a
1K.
moment.
Well, no, so New Year's Eve, I was snuck into the top 1K. So took the quick, cheeky screen grab of that. Unfortunately, not quite there anymore, but close to it. But yeah, first time I've been inside the top 1K, so definitely have to sort of sneak a screenshot, even if it is a midweek rank.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, as ever, got a good show coming up. Game week 20, we'll cover our teams, we'll cover predictions, how we done, any transfer moves. I'm thinking about taking another -4 and using 3 transfers. And just everything in between and indifferent. Kieran, start us off, mate. Start us off. It's been that. I feel like it's been weeks and weeks.
Well,
I don't even. Yeah, start the
it's
bad
been
before
days,
the
hasn't it,
deep.
really? But let's start off with your team, Shane. Do you want to? I've got to shut the door because I've realised I've left it open. But talk us through your team.
Yeah, so it was another sparse week, folks, wasn't it? It was, and unless you had maybe those 1 or 2 players that kind of got 9 or 10 pointers, I did have Collins and Kelleher, which saved me from a huge red arrow. It wasn't the best, really. Saka and Gordon doing the best in the middle. Foden becoming a fraud as per usual. Rodgers, listen, it was Arsenal, so what can you do? Really, I should have benched him for Lacroix, but it's a point. The biggest disappointment, Kieran, this week, in fact, I had 3. I take the biggest one. The first one, the lowest one, the third one, is Van Heck. Since I got him 2 game weeks ago, mate, he missed that game. He plays every single game, but the day I bench boost, he decided to miss. I'll just miss that one because FPL Veterans, doing a bench boost, it would have got him like 26 points, but I missed that. The second one was O'Reilly, mate, which we'll come on to when we talk to the City game because I'm not very happy with Pep. But the biggest one was Haaland, mate. After people, how in the absolute hell did people get away with captaining Cunha? How did we let that happen, Kieran? Haaland was probably the biggest disappointment. But like I said when you were away, mate, unless you had maybe those 2 or 3 players that got 9, 10 points, or Gabriel 15, it was a sparse week, really. And I would say probably the majority of more engaged players probably got a red arrow. The biggest one for me, mate, was Brentford. The Brentford double clean sheet was. I needed that, mate. I needed that like you wouldn't believe. And luckily it came in. And Big Collins, mate. Big Collins getting a little 9-pointer. No Def Con, but I'll take a 9-pointer, mate. All in all, though, Kieran, that's the second red arrow in a row. I don't really like red arrows, mate. I'm not a fan of them. It was okay though. It wasn't bad, mate.
It was just right, and I just realised, Shane, a little bit late as we were trying to sort out a new layout. I then proceeded to not have this layout laid out whilst you were going through your team. So hopefully it should be a little bit bigger for people. It was only as I was sharing the stream, I then saw what it looked like on YouTube and went, hang on, that's not the one we were meant to have.
Wait a minute. It wasn't bad, mate. What's your thoughts on the team? It's just, I feel in that kind of nether zone, you know?
Yeah. Do I do the usual thing? Why is Lacroix not come on for Van Heck? Well, look, it is what it is, right? It's probably the best way to say it. Like you said, it wasn't a massive week for most teams. You can see here the average point score across it was 40, right? So it's not one of those, and it kind of underpins why I was glad that I held my wildcard on to this moment, because we're seeing now there's some chaos going on, some people looking for the wild cards, and it's because of the slight changes in fixtures. And I guess, Shane, like one thing I will commend you on is you stuck to your opinion on Man United assets. You held firm on it.
I did.
And
look at that smile.
Look at that smile. They looked poor. They looked very, very poor.
Oh, mate, they were. And again, we'll come into predictions. What I predicted. They are bad, mate. And people, we'll leave that for predictions. But yeah, like you're saying, unless you had those 2-3 players that kind of went big, it wasn't the best game week. Just like last week, and they felt so close. It felt like one game week. But listen, I'm still like 133k. I can't overly complain. I'm in a good position. I'm in.
You got good players as well, right? Like a lot of the players that people are talking about right now. Like, look, I still think, and we'll come on. Like, we're not going to ruin anything about what your moves are. I don't know what your moves are. I just kind of upload pictures. I don't really pay attention when I'm creating this.
I just work here.
No, but I don't know if you do the same. You don't really look at what you're doing. You just copy pasting and just go, that goes there, that goes there.
Yeah, no, I do.
Rather than actually looking at any of it. But yeah, like, again, we'll commend you on your foresight on Man United. And look, some people say this is us blowing our own bubbles. No, it's just recapping some of the things we said that we got right. We're going to go through plenty of the things we got wrong, right? Including Shane's team right here. Clearly, he got it wrong. But
there you go.
But I had a period of time when I was talking about Nico O'Reilly, right? And just saying he's the worst of the Man City defenders. We were saying that last game week that you can't get rid of him before these fixtures. Or no, you can't not play him in this fixture. That was the words I said. You can't not play him, so you need to get rid of him so that you don't have to play him because he's a problem.
100%.
He is a problem. He's not a problem because he's not going to play. Like he's had minutes, but this isn't. He was taken off because he was poor. That's the story that's coming out. He wasn't taken off because he was injured. He was taken off because he was poor. I think it's less about him being poor. For me, it's more about the other Man City defenders are all scoring more points than him. Like, he is the worst of the Man City defenders, and he's not exactly cheap. And at his price point, there's better defenders outside of Man City as well. So, yeah, that's the only thing I'll say about that team. But again, I like your Kelleher and Collins, your Chalobah, Van Hecker, should be.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to, like you're saying, we'll blow a bit of a trumpet when we get some stuff right. But talking of things getting wrong, I think I did kind of go against what I thought of City. They've conceded a lot of goals. It was maybe a bit knee-jerky, but O'Reilly looked good at the time. He was getting, double digits at home. That was a bit of a mistake. Van Heck, currently, he's got Burnley at the weekend. That was a bit of a mistake. A little bit of bad luck. One game he misses. It's a pretty big game. That's FPL. You can't do anything about it. But yeah, I think Lewis Hall to Van Heck, that was poor because now I look at the fixtures and actually I like Lewis Hall, even though it's a bit of rotation. But yeah.
Is Foden a problem?
He is, mate. Yeah, he's and we know what he does. Every time throughout, well, not last season, but the season before, okay, he was fantastic. But we know it's Foden time at certain points of the season. But out with those times, you need to get rid of him because I give him a couple of fixtures. He's still looking in good high positions and within the box and a good stop. He could have scored at the weekend, but I just can't rely on him. Do you know what I mean? I can't rely on him unless something big happens. I don't think he's going to get 2 goals. It's shared around too much. And look at City, they're finding it difficult to break teams down. So yeah, I think he is becoming a bit of a problem. And there's a few like that, but we do have to have a bit of patience, Kieran, don't we? A little bit of patience is needed now and again.
We do. Well, look, we'll skip on to my team, my wild card.
From the ugly to the good, yes? Do explain your team.
Yeah, look, a lot worked out. So I said last week I'm pretty big on Everton defence in the second half of the season. We know what they do, and Pickford will be the top point scorer. He's already done it now. He's top No, I think Roosters done it, just took back over him yesterday. But he ended the year, Pickford ended 2025 as the top point scoring goalkeeper because that's what he does. And when he cleans, yes, he's not exactly much cheaper than Uriah's of the world, but when he cleans, you're looking at a 10-pointer, and that's significant. The one thing that was a little bit cheeky is Tarkowski. Don't know how many people noticed this, but Tarkowski on Tuesday was on 27 on the bonus point system, and then Opta's updates moved him to over 80% successful passing, which is worth 4 points on the bonus point system. So it jumped him into 1 extra point, so took him to a 9-pointer. That didn't come through until after all the games played yesterday.
It was
so
like
it
a
was a long
Christmas
wait
present.
for that extra point.
Like a little Christmas present,
Look, Lewis Hall and Gordon, happy with both of them. I was considering Bruno Guimaraes instead of Gordon.
Yes.
And that could have helped. The only regrets in it, really, I like my bench again. Like Van der Ven, this is a funny thing, and again, fine with me because he was on my bench. But Van der Ven got DEFCON after FPL game week had finished. So Van der Ven should have got an 8-pointer here, right? So that's 19 points in the last 2 weeks. And now he's got really good fixtures coming forward. So, yeah, happy to have him and Rodgers on my bench. But it's the United boys. I'm looking at Dorgu and Cunha and going, yeah, they've got 2 more games, but I don't exactly know if I want either of them against Leeds. With the way Cunha was playing, like he went from taking all the shots in the world to then playing against his old team and having 2. It was, United was shocking. At the same point, Wolves have looked good recently.
I did say, and people didn't want to listen. I mean, they're still shit, but they've looked better. They've passed the ball. Is that an improvement? They have looked better. They haven't they? They've not been getting battered. Let's put it that way.
Well, look, let's move on to the fixtures.
Oh, hold on. Get back to your team. Okay. Get back to that team quickly. I just want to. I think it's the new year going ahead, but I'd want to commend you because when I looked at your team the other day and I seen double Everton defence, I was like, my guy. Listen, I don't think you gave yourself enough kudos, mate. Up to 1,200 in the world, you've just been smashing it. But you've been going with what you've thought throughout. I've never seen you or heard you go, oh, such and such is getting this person in, and I want to cover it. You've played your way, quote unquote. So it's good to see, mate, and it's good to see. Sometimes it can go wrong in FPL. Usually, sometimes it does on this channel, but it's good to see you doing so well, mate. And congratulations, mate. It's good. It's good because you're bringing all the viewers in. You know what I mean? You bring all the viewers in, and then I look like I can add some value. But no, well done, mate.
Look, it's both of us, and I think it has helped this year. And wildcard worked out at the right time. I think, to your point, me being able to be so different because I had that wild card as these fixtures came, and it's the Everton boys that are helping out. It also worked massively in my favour because I think on the stream I had Declan Rice in instead of Rodgers, and I had Michael Keane in instead of Tarkowski. Right now, having your wild card and hearing Michael Keane might be out, okay, I'll get Tarkowski. Declan Rice might be out, okay. I was messaging Craig, FPL Vincenzo back and forth pretty much all day, going, I think I want Rodgers. Rodgers looks better for my game week 24 team, etc. So it was still a bit of a dilemma, but I'd move Rodgers into my team. So again, I had that flexibility to go, I still want double Everton defence. I still want Morgan Rodgers. So worked out in my favour.
You've done the right time because I think just now in the community, mate, I think a lot of people want a wild card now. They're thinking about pulling the trigger. So it's, you've done it at the exact right time. Yeah.
I think Marcello's done a really good piece in terms of like dead ending into 31. Like you can get some game, but the fixtures coming up at the moment, particularly game week 20, are going to be pretty low scoring game weeks. And you kind of have to just accept that. I think one thing I am happy about is downgrading Foden to Shirky. I'm not saying like I expect Shirky to necessarily cover him. Shirky, is a creator. Foden's the one taking shots, but he's gone through this downward spiral. Shirky's 6 point whatever, so all made a lot of sense to me.
No,
I'll just say to everyone that's watching us, if I keep taking my glasses off, it's because this drink here is Lemsip for the cold, and every time I take a sip, I'm realising it's steaming the glasses up, which is always fun.
Kieran's on a website. I'm on this, and if no one's ever seen this before, Iron Brew, Winter Brew, winter is coming. Get your hands on one of these. I'm telling you, mate. Your writer's rating that well. It's delicious. Thank you for that.
Is that only
Well, it's
available
good,
during winter?
Yes, it's the first year I've done it though, but I've kind of I don't really drink much juice, but I've kind of stocked up because if you had that with a bit of rum,
I was going to
in
say,
fact,
like,
Kieran, you probably can't get these. I'll send you some down, mate. I'll send you
that's what I was
some
going to
down.
say. Hold on to some. Next time you're down doing any of your work down this way, you can bring some down. We can have
I'll send you some.
an iron brew night.
Just a hi to a few in the chat as we move on, and we'll go on to predictions or covering the games. Proj is in. Colm is in. He's in the house. A draw, another point for Fulham, which is good. You know what I mean? That's one more than we all thought they'd get. Oh, snap. I'm starting with jokes already. Yeah, just again, if you can, like, subscribe to Scream, all that kind of good stuff. It makes a big difference. Right, the games, mate. Let's probably not talk about the second half as much because that was pretty dire.
2026
Oh, God.
Premier League football has been shit. Boring. Like,
the most goals were in Palace Fulham.
2 goals.
Palace Fulham. I know. It wasn't.
I was part of a watch along on the Tuesday games, and we're all on sort of a video chat together. Some are watching the multi-screen on Sky Sports. I was choosing to watch a Newcastle game to start with. I was avoiding the Everton Forest game, but you know how it is when you're doing a watch along and some people are ahead, and they go goal at Forest. I'm like, oh no, I've got to change over now, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking. But I think in the first 20 minutes we had like 8 goals. It was non-stop. I was having to change channel non-stop based on what people in the chat were saying. You then compare that with, I'm glad we didn't do a watch along yesterday. I would have fallen asleep. Would have been out cold. So
what was your biggest talking points for you? I mean, there was quite a lot, even though there were nil-nils. They were actually quite important nil-nils. But what was kind of the biggest outliers for you, man?
What, in the fixtures this week?
Yeah, the scores that have gone. Yeah.
Chelsea drawing, that's a shock. I think that's a sackable offence, to be honest. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye, Mariska.
And he's gone.
What do you think about Rosemar coming in instead? Them just...
I was listening to TalkSport earlier, actually, and I actually, obviously, I've been busy with it, with the family and stuff, and I didn't realise till this morning. I said to my little boy, he was like, Mariska's been sacked. He's like, is he? I was like, yeah. So, his position was untenable. I think Chelsea, they're the club that everyone knows they are. They're not a community kind of team. They're a corporate team, a corporate entity, and it's not the manager who's got the reins, clearly. That's probably why Cole Palmer hasn't been playing as much, even though he's back from injury. Apparently, they said that they've got the medical team decide when their players play the amount of time that they need to. And they've kind of got more control than the manager. And yeah, it wasn't good. I mean, I was surprised he walked away because he must have let go a bit of money, right? Without getting sacked. I mean, I'm not sure, but Rosinha, he's going to have to hit the ground running because Chelsea are a sacking club, isn't he? I mean, he's won 2 trophies, didn't he, last season?
Did he? I think for me, it's less about that, and it's more...
I think they're a bit of a... I mean, they look a bit of a...
I think he's got a lot of potential in the long term, but I think this is just throwing him in far too soon. I actually had someone in a group chat doing a voice note going, this is just a message from Mr. Rosemar, just to let him know that on Monday we need him to report to the London office, not the French office. He will be carrying out the same job, but with less control over the decisions moving forward. We look forward to seeing him on Monday.
But that's what it is, though. I mean, if you go in that job, you know what you're going to get.
That's why I don't think it should be him. I think,
look,
it's a terrible place right now. But look, 2-2 against Bournemouth. Bournemouth once again conceded a couple of goals away. Semenyo gets a return again from a throw-in. A throw-in that's headed by a defender.
Mate, that shouldn't be. That irks
me.
But that actually irks me.
I knew that would irk you as it happened, but the whole point is there. But Shane, it's inside the box, so there's no intended target needed. So after your Rodgers complaint, this one was like the ultimate throw it in your face inside the box.
We're kind of killing football. I get the rules, I get it, but I seen the assist. I was like, assist from that throw-in. I was like, how dare you? It was quite funny. It was prime FPL, but Chelsea.
Let's mention it. Arsenal absolutely battered Villa. Absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I had 2-0. I think we both had 2-0, but listen, the
I had 1-0,
standard,
you had 1-0. We both had
oh,
1-0.
1-0. The step up was noticeable for all to see. And Villa have been on obviously that fantastic run, and they went to Arsenal. And all right, 4-1. All right, they didn't get battered, but they did get bruised a bit, and it just reaffirms my position that Arsenal are going to win the league. I know you're whispering it, Kieran. I know, but I've been saying it for some time. The only team that I see playing like champs from maybe I don't know what the second or third game week, Arsenal. And I know it'll be close. City will still run them close, but Arsenal got the squad, mate, and you know what I mean.
But
They just
do you know what the key thing is
oh
as
my god, it's
well?
fun.
It's
Jesus looks good as well,
uh,
by the way.
but again, this game it was 0-0 at half time, right? And this is a common theme with
Yeah.
Arsenal in big games at the Emirates. A few
Yes.
examples of the second halves in 2025 at the Emirates. When we played Real Madrid, it was 0-0 at half time. It finished
Yep.
3-0. When we played Manchester City, it was 1-0 at half time. It finished 5-1. When we played Atletico Madrid, it was 0-0. It ended 4-0. When we played Chelsea, it was 1-0. It ended 5-0. When we played Villa, it was 0-0. It ended 4-1. You can throw Bayern Munich in there as well. Like
Yep.
Arsenal at the Emirates in the second half in a big game. And you know what, Shane?
Mate.
Next Thursday, Thursday the 8th of January, we play Liverpool, and I'm going to be there. And I'm hoping for 3 or 4 goals in that second half.
I hear a little double pivot vlog going on. Little vlogs needing that, I think.
We'll see.
It was just
The important thing will be,
step up.
Shane, it will be me getting the train home at 10 p.m. and I need to not fall asleep on it.
Yeah. Obviously, the drinks will help you keep you awake. So have more beer, and that will help you stay awake on the train. I mean, Arsenal, it was a step up, mate. Underneath that was, we were talking about it, Man United, the, FPL review pick, Cunha. Again, my eyes do not deceive me. And Cunha, don't get me wrong, he's one of the better players in United, but we discussed this before, mate. They lost Bruno. Even if you just lost Bruno on his own, mate, the amount that he creates, we have to factor that in. They lost Bruno, they lost Ahmad, they lost Embuemo, which is so much across the board. And listen, Wolves, okay, United did dominate possession, that's fine, but they didn't really do too much with it. And I tell you what, they could have got a little bit lucky and beat them 2-1. And again, I say this it feels like every game week, Kieran. United are one game a week from self implosion and oblivion. And here we are again. I just feel sorry for the guy who just doesn't cut his hair because he's just going to end up, he might as well start braiding it all the way down. He's never going to get it. Elsewhere, I was probably a bit disappointed with Newcastle again. I know it was 3-1, but in my, for my team and your team, Gordon, give him for the next few, but I'm not quite so sure. Everton was a bit of a shock to me, I thought Forest would have scored. I really did. So that was a bit of a shock.
That game was either a 0-0 or an Everton win to 0 for me. Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. It's Moyes doing what he do, and even with the team that he had, mate. I don't know if you've seen the team and the people on the bench. Mate, Moyes is doing great, and I bet you West Ham fans now look at that again and go, "What did we do getting rid of David Moyes? Wanted to play this expansive, sexy football that you can't play with West Ham's current West Ham, currently." Elsewhere, Liverpool leads as well again. I wasn't bothered. I know Vert's got a return last week. I don't think he looked that good, mate. I really don't. And what we're forgetting,
Do you know,
I
think he looked. I think he looked fine.
Better.
I think
he looked more comfortable. I think.
Dominic Szoboszlai is like Frimpong looked interesting. Frimpong looked interesting as a right winger.
Yeah, he did.
It's a now or never play with him, though, right? Like, as soon as Salah's back, he's a non-asset. But playing right wing for a couple of weeks, he should have got an assist. Instead, Ekatike did a ball recovery or a clearance, which was
I've seen that.
Just kicked hard to him. But there was other points as well where like Florian Wirtz laid it off to Ekatike. There were lots of blocked shots, and this was a weakened Leeds team, right? This was Leeds resting a little bit, but they still look decent.
No Rodon at the back. That was a huge loss for them. And Liverpool did dominate possession. But again, like I was saying, this is at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? We're talking Anfield where they batter teams. And a 0-0 against Leeds. Okay, Leeds, if you're a Leeds fan, it's great. It's another point on the board to go away at Anfield and pick up a point. That's huge. But the epitome for me, when Wirtz had that chance, he really should have put it away, and he didn't. For me, it's a player still not on form, and I'm I'm not really too bothered just now about getting him in. Brentford, the second to last game, mate. Like I said to you there, I was worrying and checking because that 15 points I needed badly because it could have gone really awry.
I hope you didn't watch it though, because that would have been.
Do you know what I did for about 15 minutes in the bath? But it got.
Shane, do you know what happened in the 75th minute in that game? Do you know what happened?
I must have. Was there a shot?
0-0 against Brentford.
Yeah.
Vicario got booked for time wasting.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I seen him get a yellow. But yeah,
I'm sorry. Time wasting away to Brentford at 0-0 in the 75th minute.
Every point counts, mate.
What on earth? Like,
I know he's bad.
That's one of the worst things I've seen this season.
I will say there's two things on that game. I think people, and maybe yourself as well, come around a bit more Brentford, especially at home. All right, it was 0-0 Spurs, wasn't the best, but they will stay up now. They've got enough points on the board. They'll stay up. They'll be fine. And the other one is, I think for me, Thomas Frank is still a good manager, but one, he doesn't have the players. I think a lot of their fan base, and they probably agree with me that a lot of they think that the players are maybe better than what they are. And he's been let down by a few players, mate. Xavi in particular, he's come back. He's not done much. He got a red card. He's been let down a few times. I think he's a good manager, and I think he'll work out. But I hear some rumblings about changing. No, he is a good manager. He just needs some new players. And with Johnson, look like he's going to Palace for 35 million. By the way, have you seen that? 35. If he's 35 million, I'm definitely like a £2,500 player at least.
Wow. Do you know what? Hang on. Sorry, I zoned out a little bit there. You're talking about Brennan Johnson.
Yeah.
Right. Let's laugh at that for a second. Spurs have sold their top goal scorer for the last 3 seasons now in a row. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, and Brennan Johnson. He was their top scorer last season. He wasn't just their top scorer. He wasn't just the top scorer. He was the person who scored the winning goal in the European Cup final for them.
He was.
So their manager who won them the cup and the player who scored them the goal to win the cup are both gone. How is this improvement? How, if you keep selling your best player from the season before, do you improve? And Brennan Johnson, like any manager apart from Frank, Brennan Johnson he'll be incredible at Palace. I genuinely think it's a weird decision considering the manager's only there for another 6 months. But Palace as a whole are still a cracking squad with cracking players for him to be playing around. So I think he'll do well. I think it'll be a great signing for them. He's definitely under consideration FPL when Palace fixtures turn.
Yeah, I think for us, and there's probably I've not really heard that many podcasts so far. I mean, I've not watched too much because I've been busy, but the Chelsea no manager, that's changed a lot for FPL. Do you know what I mean? The same with like Spurs, and obviously the manager's still there. But to cover the last game as well, Sunderland City, I watched that, and what I did write down in a few notes is Haaland does find it hard against the big guys, didn't he? He found it hard against Milinkovic the other week, and he found it hard against Mukiele and Alderete. So. And they're a bit devoid of creation, would you not say?
Yeah, but he had a great chance that if he puts that one away, that he just side foots to the keeper.
Yeah.
That was so early on in the game, it wouldn't surprise you if that game then ended 4-0, right? Like it was I agree with you, as in Mukiele and Alderete did a great job against him. And I think let's say less about Man City here and more about...
Good point. Yeah, good point.
More about Sunderland. Great. Sunderland at home, with all of these absences, have still, like, Sunderland... Let me just check this on my phone, because I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
I think, Kieran, you know how we said about Sunderland, getting a bit shit? I probably paid lip service to that, and I didn't see how much of the defence they kept together. So I think,
it's not even just that. So, Shane, 14th of December, they beat Newcastle 1-0. Yep. They then drew away to Brighton 0-0. They drew at home to Leeds 1-0. They drew to City 0-0. They've conceded 1 goal in the last 4 games. 1 goal. And their defenders are 4 and 4.2 million. And people are sitting there with Virgil van Dijk.
Oh.
Like,
and people take it as a win, like, oh yeah, it's a clean sheet. I was like, yeah, that's like 1 clean sheet that you've had when you brought him in. Like,
it's a 6-pointer. Like, Virgil van Dijk is...
He didn't even get DCs.
I said it about him when I was saying about O'Reilly. It's the same thing, right? Virgil van Dijk. In fact, we'll leave it because I've got a discomfort zone this week, so we'll leave it to come on top, right? But look, the only other thing I'll add on to it that did make me laugh is Rayan Cherki hit DEFCON. Come on!
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. I was like, no, God, no way. But yeah,
So
it
look,
was.
Go for it.
God, even though there was a few nil-nils, it was still good. It was more data or more information, for us to use for game week 20, mate. Yeah, go on.
So look, with all that said and done, you ended up getting 4 correct results in there in the Newcastle game, Arsenal game, Liverpool draw, and Man U draw. And I joined you on Newcastle and Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting 6 correct results because I also got the Everton one, the draw at West Ham, the draw at Palace, and the draw at Spurs. So close the gap slightly. You are still some way ahead, so we won't sort of stay on this for too long, but you're 80 points ahead of me at the moment.
Can I just say as well, there would have been many people that would have put a draw for United and a draw for Liverpool in the same week. We're trusting it this year, Kieran, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? We're trusting our instincts, and luckily, sometimes they pay off.
Yeah, to be fair, you would have made decent. If you'd put a double on that would have been a decent return, Shane.
I know, I had a nightmare.
That would have been a decent return.
Oh, no.
But look, I kind of teased it. This is a bit of a slightly longer one this week, Shane, because I kind of want to just go through a bit of a journey on this one with you. We're going to have to move to the side for it, though, right? Because there's a couple of things to run through as we're doing this one. And I will just for a moment hide the chat because there's some logic. There's a few different slides here, right? So this one at the start, I think we're at the midway point. It's always good at the halfway point to kind of go, well, we're just over the half. Well, no, we're at the halfway point. It's important to kind of go, are we seeing any trends here? So on your left, that's home form. On the right, that's your away form. Now, first thing that jumps up, Wolves are the bottom for both.
Yeah.
Right? So leave that where you want to. And then more goals at home than they are away from home. So, yeah. But things that jumped out and surprised me. Spurs, top of the away form still.
Yeah.
They're on 18 points, by the way. Man City are on 17 because I know our logo is kind of covering that up. But at the same time there, that disparity between 18 points for Spurs puts them top of the away teams. Mm-hmm. For home teams, 18 points would have you in 7th. So, a lot more points being picked up at home than away is one thing that jumps out to me. So, home teams are winning more. We do tend to see that anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting because we can see here Brentford just jumps out 4th for the home record, 17th for the away record.
Yeah, I was saying to you, man, they've done really well. And really, shouldn't have got beat by City, but yeah.
Here's the other one, though. And again, I hadn't realised this. Palace home record, 16th. Away record, 5th.
Yeah, I actually put Fulham 1-0 to win at the weekend. Yeah, I did see, even in Europe, mate, they've kind of been, a big loss to that Coops and stuff like that. But it's good to have these side by side. Do you know what I mean? Very analytical and like kinesthetic, that it's easy to deliberate and look across, mate.
Exactly, because the table itself is really close together at the moment, right? If we do look at the overall table. The next thing, though, is this I found quite interesting. Oh, I clicked ahead on the wrong thing here. This is the old, who are contributing to the most amount of goals for their teams.
Not seen this in ages, that graphic, to be fair.
No, and it's a halfway point, so always good to look at it. Haaland's 44% of Man City's goals, right? Those 19 goals are a lot of goals when you then look at Igor Thiago, which we already knew.
Yeah.
But one thing I was going to ask you here, Shane, is look down at all of these players.
Yeah.
What do you notice about them all? See if there's anything. There's 2 people that are the exception to this when you look through it.
Oh, 2 people that are the exception?
Yeah. 8 of them have one thing in common. And it's what you'd expect in terms of the top scorer for each team. Or not even the top scorer, the highest contribution for each team. Yeah. Right? They're strikers. But then think of it from an FPL perspective, Shane. We've got the most expensive striker in the game. We've got cheap striker. We've got the highest performing midfielder. We've got cheap striker. Welbeck, cheap striker. Richarlison, no one's talking about. No one's got Richarlison in their team. And Rodgers.
I did used to.
Now, to me, it's just jumping out that, how many strikers do we need in our FPL team in reality? And do we just need the cheap ones? Because here's the thing, and I want you to remember these teams in particular, Shane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the teams for the strikers.
Yeah.
We've got Man City, we've got Brentford, we've got Leeds, we've got Palace, we've got Brighton, we've got Tottenham, we've got Liverpool, okay? This is where attempts are taken. No, that's the wrong one, hang on. This is where attempts are taken, or shots are taken by each team, ordered by the teams that shoot from the middle of the pitch the most. Brentford, Palace, Leeds, Tottenham, Brighton, City, Fulham. So
I like this.
There's a complete parallel here. When I was just looking at these things, the strikers that are scoring the most goals play for the teams that are taking shots from the centre of the pitch the most. Right? We're not talking massive differences here, but we also are. If we look at Liverpool there, which is the anomaly with Ekitike, 68% of their shots taken from the middle, but Brentford, 83% of their shots are taken from the centre. The other thing that stood out to me is the other end of it. Sunderland are the highest for shots on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, and the lowest for taking them through the middle. So again, these were things that were then just kind of standing out to me going, well, hang on, it isn't really a surprise, right? So it's the things that I'm thinking about, like how is this going to help me when I'm looking at striker options, when I'm looking at who I want to have? Well, the Leeds striker is an option, the Brentford striker is an option, the Brighton striker is an option, the Fulham striker is an option. If Burnley sign a striker, they're an option. Sunderland, biggest weakness is no good striker.
Yeah.
And they have been linked with in BBC gossip, so obviously high level, really important stuff. But Gonzalo Garcia, the Real Madrid 21-year-old striker.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if Sunderland got him.
So are you thinking then, from this, are you thinking of changing, because you used to have 2 strikers, didn't you? Thinking of doing more? You think of do 3 strikers?
No, I'm thinking of 1. I'm thinking of 1.
Just going 1. One big one.
Maximum. Like, it's making me more confident that, like, oh, should we have Ollie Watkins? Why? They're 17th for shots in the middle. Should we get Jared Bowen? Why? They're 19th for shots in the middle.
Where did you, can I ask you, where did you pull that data from?
This is all on who scored. It's all on who scored.
This is very good. And do you know what? This excites me. Do you know why? Kieran's going to win FPL. That's why.
Then what was it? I think I've got 2 more things I wanted to go through. And this is just me doing a bit of what have we seen in the first half of the season? Set piece goals in order. Leeds are scoring the most set piece goals.
I was looking for this table actually, to be fair. Set piece. Leeds, what the hell?
Leeds. Now, let me just bring up Virgil van Dijk again. Liverpool have scored 3 set piece goals. Virgil van Dijk costs almost 6 million. Why the hell do people have him in their teams? Why?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. I mean, maybe they'll look at this now and go, actually, I can see all the other teams, you know what I mean, even Leeds are at the top. Why am I going to invest that amount of money in something I'm not going to get the returns from? You know, and the also, old Van Dijk, and we always have the last season in our head, you know?
This also brings to light a few other things, right? Set piece takers are important if you play for Leeds. Stack, take some set pieces. He is a decent cheap option. If you play for Arsenal, right, Saka, we already know that. Man United, Bruno, we already know that.
Yeah.
So, again, like, pick your set piece players, but pick the ones that are taking set. Like, it then brings up Szoboszlai. He's on set pieces, 3 goals. And Szoboszlai doesn't score goals from open play. He scores free kicks, but the free kick that Liverpool got on like this week, Wirtz took it.
Yeah.
So like, and then Szoboszlai ended up back in defence again as a right back. So yeah, this was another one, and I don't know if I've actually done this on the next one. Yeah, I did. I deliberately then just using the same graphic, but just ordering it by penalties because, you know, I want the penalty taker.
Yeah.
Well, here you can see the penalties actually, so ignore that, right? I want the penalty taker. What, the one at Spurs that have no penalties? The one at Villa who has no penalties? I want the penalty taker at Brentford. Thiago, we know that's what he does. Palace. Now again, we're saying the penalty taker at Brentford, the penalty taker at Palace, Well, we already know that, right? Because we already had a look and said, hang on, they're the goal scorers, right? So we're starting to see how their goals are made up. We already knew that, but it just makes it a bit more obvious.
Yeah.
Now, for me, maybe instead we want to look at who's given away the penalties. So instead of saying I need this player because they're playing Sunderland, well, Sunderland haven't given away any penalties. So I don't want a penalty taker against Sunderland necessarily, or I'm not going to factor it in as much. But I would want the penalty taker if my team's playing Burnley. I would want the penalty taker if my team's playing Nottingham Forest. And then I'll start to factor it in for West Ham, Leeds, Brighton, Bournemouth. But at the same time, if you can see a player that's about to play Burnley, Forest, if you see a team's about to play a couple of these top 6 in a row for penalties, you probably want their penalty taker in. But outside of that, you don't really need to factor it in that much.
This is good though. This is all the little morsels, the little bit, it separate you from going from one player to the other. I'm actually going to have to watch this back and get these tables as well, because it's everything that we need at the midway point of the season. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. And then the final part is Wolves have, if you look along their column, Wolves have scored 4 own goals. So that's probably not helping them.
Yeah, it's never ideal. Yeah, you never want to start with an own goal. Yeah, that's not
ideal. And Arsenal have only conceded, again, you can see teams that are conceding lots of goals from open play here. Arsenal have conceded 7 from open play. West Ham have conceded 21.
I like this. And then you can factor in how teams play if they get more from open play or set pieces.
And then when you start looking at your players, I think it's taking that a little bit further, right?
I like that, yeah.
I've got my team is playing against Spurs. I want a player that plays wide against Spurs from open play who maybe, and again, this is all on who scored. So I know there's different sites out there, but who scored, you can arrange it by for and against. You can do it in order of the counter attacks, whatever you want, and you can play around with it. So yeah, that was kind of mine. What about yourself, Shane? Do you have anything for us for your veteran vision today?
I don't, mate. I don't.
Well, in that case, I put this little image in for you instead, right? Because this made me laugh. Oh, hang on, it's not working because it's a bit. Well, it's not working because how do we get rid of our background thing? Did you put this little wintry thing on? That's all.
Or was this automatic? Would you want it off?
Yeah, just for a second.
Oh, I'll get it off.
So I can't figure out.
You know what? And even if I did have one for this weekend, I wouldn't have done it because your one was fantastic, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, we've gone different. I don't know how you go. How do you go normal? Oh.
If you can't get it off, hang on, I can do this instead just for a moment.
If you go to media assets, it's on there. Overlay. You could.
Cool. Well, look, let's just do this instead just for a second because. If I can click onto here, I think I've loaded it. Yeah, here we are. Look at this for transfer news. You can read it out for us.
Deal done. AZ Alkmaar have signed striker Jez Hornkamp from Hercules Almelo. Yes, that's his actual name. I want, like Van Hennegoor or Vesselink. I want his full name on the back of his shirt at all times.
That'd be pretty expensive.
Yeah, it would be for the letters.
The other thing, one thing. There was one other thing I was just going to have a little chat about, right? And that was just in general. I've seen a few people when there was a whole Van Dijk discussion, and you'll see it from people. They'll say, "I watched the Liverpool game, and I saw him make way more clearances that weren't counted." Right? It's a common thing that I will hear from people saying it, and I think that's where there is a slight misconception of what a clearance defined by Opta is. And Opta define a clearance as a defensive action when a player attempts to get the ball away from a dangerous zone on the pitch with no immediate target regarding a recipient for the ball. So, players like Van Dijk, when the ball goes long and they go up for that header to clear it, maybe from a dangerous zone, are they just aiming to get that ball as far away from their area as possible, or are they aiming to get towards one of their players for that second ball so they can launch an attack?
Yeah.
It's the latter, right? The better teams, the reason why better teams don't get as much DEFCON is mainly based on clearances, right? Because better teams aren't trying to just get the ball away from their goal. They're trying to get the ball to an intended target in their team. So even in a clearance, it's more likely to be defined as a pass than an actual clearance. So the players that are just hoofing the ball out of play, your Tarkovskis of the world, The way Everton play, you're going to get your clearances, but just naturally just clearing the ball isn't a
A good point.
clearance. And it also has to be an area of danger. So there has to be a realistic threat of someone challenging you for that ball. And there also has to be, for example, I don't know, Yankuba Minter challenging Virgil van Dijk probably isn't going to be a clearance, right? There's not much danger there with him jumping up for a header, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he had 3 teammates around him so that if the ball went to any of them, it probably would be defined as a clearance because there's actually that danger by all of the proximity of players. So yeah, just important to take into consideration that what we think is a clearance won't always be a clearance, particularly if they're playing for a better team.
No, it's like you're saying, and that's what we like to do in the pod. We like to delve more into rather than just like, review or data and take it on, good authority that, they're the better players, because they get the most FPL points. But we know that's not how football works. It's certainly not how FPL works. But if we can have these little morsels, these little bits more of details and information, we can create that jigsaw. Do you know what I mean? I always say FPL is like a jigsaw you don't have all the pieces to, but for stuff like this, it gives us as many, almost all the pieces, 99 out of 100 pieces. But that was, I'm just going to say it, Kieran, that was the best discomfort zone. That was the best discomfort zone we've done this season. That's a fact.
I've been off it for a while, but it's the midway point, so I thought I'd dive in. I do have to give credit to Proj here. This is true for it. What a name when introducing yourself to a lady. Hi, the name's Horncamp. Jizz Horncamp.
I think for, like you're saying there, we have to reassess like you have there, and people have to change their perceptions of teams, because if not, we're going to get caught in the doldrums. We're going to get caught in those, those players that we think are going to bang and they're not going to bang, and we're not really looking forward. And I think it's something we've been both doing, and more yourself. We've been looking forward this season. But no, it's good, mate. It's good. I liked it, and I hope everyone enjoyed that, because that was very, very intriguing.
There we are. Cool. Well,
right.
Here we are. We are back, and it's now time for prediction, Shane. So
we're play along with us
for 47 minutes. So yeah,
we've done well, mate. Play along with us again. Put predictions in the chat. Always good. Always helpful. Always helps us. And we'll see what we get for next week. And just chuck a wee like and sub in there, especially for Kieran's team. Just chuck it in. Right, you starting with me or you starting with you? Probably good to start with me. Give you a bit of time, I think.
Yeah.
Aston Villa Forest, the dreaded early kickoff. Like I said, I'm catching a flight in the early hours of tomorrow morning. So I'll be honest, Kieran, I've still got some match of the day to watch. I'm probably going to stay up and watch it. I'll be able to watch this because I'll land at the time. I don't know, it's a difficult one. Everyone thinks that Villa's going to batter Forest because of current form, but I'm not so sure. I think Villa will still get the win. I think they'll grind it out. I don't think it'll be a battering. I think it'll be by 2 goals, though. Do they keep a clean sheet, Villa? I mean, they never really. 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1, Villa. They never keep a clean sheet at home, do they? So I'm going to go 2-1, man. I'm going to go probably like a Milenkovic or something. I think Villa aren't very good at, a bit like Spurs, they're not very good at getting crosses away from the box. So I think maybe Milenkovic gets a return, mate. Proj says Rodgers brace. I'd love it, mate. I'd love it.
Well, I think Rodgers is really good for this game, right? And it's almost going back to those stats we were saying about set piece goals that are scored. Villa are decent at them. No, I did say Villa haven't had a penalty this year, but Forest have given away 4. So could this be Villa's first penalty of the season?
Well,
Tielemans on the penalty spot.
Yeah, but Watkins will take it, wouldn't he?
Oh, don't be silly. Watkins is dreadful at penalties. He is dreadful.
So what are you going for? I've gone for 2-1.
I'm going to go with the 2-0. I'm going to go with the 2-0. And I'm going to throw out there'll be a penalty. Villa score their first penalty of the season.
Oh, wowzer. I hope if Villa get a penalty and Milenkovic scores for 2-1, then we need to play the lottery. A lot of people going 2-1 there, actually. Colm, Wade, Proj, everyone. Right, on to you next. Brighton Burnley. The Battle of the Bees. Well, not the Bees because they're Brentford, but yeah, you get one. Brighton Burnley. I mean, Brighton obviously they're at home, so they're a lot more stronger at home than they are away. But they still concede. It doesn't seem to matter. It does not seem to matter.
Brighton
Interesting.
haven't
I'll have
won
to
for a
see.
long time, right? Like Brighton haven't
Hmm.
won since November, but Burnley. I don't know the last time Burnley won either.
Don't think
Wouldn't
they
be able to
do.
tell you last time Burnley won. I think they've beaten Wolves, Leeds, and Sunderland maybe, but I can't think of anyone else they've beaten. So it's not as if they're
Yeah.
really beating great teams. They beat Sunderland towards the start of the season too. Wolves are bad. Burnley are bad too. And Brighton
Yeah, they are.
are good enough at home, is my gut feeling.
Beat City at
I
home, didn't they? Beat
think,
City.
yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1 to Brighton on this one.
Two
I think
one.
we're going to see another Danny Welbeck goal.
Yeah, see, it's funny because Danny Welbeck, when he was on a bit of a red hot form, they weren't talking like they were about Calvert-Lewin, about getting called up for England. And again, as a Scotland fan, I endorse him going to the World Cup. Please take Calvert-Lewin to the World Cup because it'd be good when you go to the group stage. I could just be like, look, maybe you should have took Ollie Watkins, or I'd love to see Danny
Be
Welbeck in
careful
England
about who
shirt.
goes out in group stages here, Shane.
Well, there's no pressure on us because I'm just going to say this early, right? It's not for what, another 7 months. We are going to make out the groups. Just saying. Just saying. Right.
Like
Actually,
you
I'm going to
always do.
go. I'm going to go 2-0 Brighton. Probably a little bit because I got Van Heck, but I think Burnley, they have been scoring quite a few goals recently, and I think that's going to dry up now. And second half of the season, they're probably going to start getting battered, mate. I don't think it'll be a battering, but 2-0 Brighton, comfortable win. Back on to me.
Okay. Well, big game. Wolves, West Ham.
Big game. Battle of the Bs to Battle of the Ws. This is a big game, mate. It's bigger than people realise. And I think before the United game last week against Wolves, people thought, West Ham, they'll pick up 3 points. Mate, I'm not so sure. Wolves could pick up 3 points here. Honestly, they could. I don't think, they're not battering anyone, but I think they could pick up 3 points. Now, if Paqueta's playing or he's injured, I don't think it really matters because you see what he does. He just rugby tackles people to the floor just for the crack. He must have had, obviously, a bet on a penalty given in the match. He probably got evens for that. Do I go for... Do you know what? I am. I'm going to go for Wolves, mate. I am. I'm going to go for Wolves. I'm going to go for 2-1. I am. I think they've got a little bit more in their core of the team. They've got a little bit more passion, energy, just commitment. I think West Ham are in a bit of a nightmare, mate. They've got... listen, they're both championship sides, aren't they? You look through the sides and they're full-on championship sides. But I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves.
I agree with you, right? This is the first thing I'm going to say. I thought I'd be the one here shocking everyone by saying Wolves are going to win. I wish I got to go first because I'm backing Wolves for a win too. I do think they get their first win of the season. And I think a cheap striker option that's not quite a dead spot, but is a spot I'm considering, is Tolu Arokodere, who's the Wolves striker. He scored against us when he came off the bench. He scored against Liverpool when he started. He started against Man U as well, and he looked decent. He had a couple of shots, I think.
He should have scored. He had a free header. Should have scored.
Yeah. I like him. I like him a lot. I think one thing that you reminded me of as well when you were saying about the Paqueta penalty is Danny Welbeck got a lot of slack for going for the Panenka, right?
Yeah.
Because he hit the crossbar, right?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I'm a goalie here, right? The Panenka works. He sat the goalie down. The execution failed, but there was nothing wrong with going for a Panenka there. It was He sat a goalie down for diving too soon. He'd noticed that Areola dives too soon.
Yeah.
So he went, I'm going to wait and I'm just going to chip it down the middle. The execution was off, but people saying, I hate Panenka because you shouldn't go for it. No, you absolutely should. If you know the goalie's going to throw himself to the ground early, you don't have to roll it into the other corner and risk putting it wide. You just do a little dink. He just poorly executed that dink down the middle.
I liked it, man. I like it. It means he's high on confidence. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like it. I wonder what they said about DCL. I wonder what they said about DCL because everyone's loving him so much now. He scored 6 games in a row. Yeah, he's a striker. He's meant to score goals. I genuinely think it's because we're not used to him scoring goals. He's like, this guy's scoring goals. Get him in the England squad. I mean, that's a bit harsh. He's been playing well, but Yeah, do you know
I
what?
see
We've
what
been agreeing a lot.
Proj also thinks like it was a little bit too cocky. I see that part too, but
Yeah,
from my perspective, I don't think it was him trying to be cocky. I think it was him, if anything, being concerned
yeah,
that if he tried to roll it into the other corner, he might scuff it. Whereas if you just
yeah.
dink it down the middle, but it was poorly executed. So look, I could be wrong there. It could have been too arrogant. Maybe he could have done it a bit more simple, but I had nothing wrong with it there. Moving on to my prediction though, because I've not done that yet, have I? I think
No.
I think 3-2 Wolves. I was going to say 2-1, but I don't want to go for the same as you, so I'll
Ooh.
go 3-2.
Yeah, both Wolves win. Here we go. I tell you what, third game in, we turn it up a little bit. Right, okay, Bournemouth. Why? We do this every
We've
week.
done it
You
again.
always get the Arsenal game.
No
Always.
matter when it
Like,
is.
genuinely.
Yeah, look,
Go on,
this
mate. Come on. What are you saying about Arsenal? Come on.
3-1. I'll just jump straight into it, right? I think
3-1.
I'm going to still stick by this. So Declan Rice won't, like, from my opinion, Declan Rice won't play.
Right,
Because
okay.
might as well keep him safe for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think Gabriel starts.
You were saying this, yeah. There's been a few people saying this. Let's Talk Andy said that as well.
Lots of people, when I tweeted it beforehand, have gone like, "Oh, you're wrong." No, it's a prediction, right? Of course, I could be wrong. Absolutely, I have. This isn't me saying he won't start, right? This is me saying I don't think he starts. I'm gonna have to play him this week because
Of course, you play him. Of course.
I don't think Vert starts. As another
Yeah, a lot of people
example,
say that.
right? So it starts to become a bit more of that dilemma. But I think this is going to be a 3-1 win for us. I think we are going to concede a goal again because we are still conceding goals. We are being a little bit like we gave Ollie Watkins his birthday goal, so that was nice of us.
Yeah, I seen that, yeah.
Again, though, Raya pulled off another world-class save in that game. And I'll say it as well, 100% at 2-0, we should have been down to 10 men.
Yeah. Yeah, you got lucky.
It was clear. It was. It's poor refereeing decision. We've had lots go against us the other way, though. So
exactly, it comes, yeah. And I mean, I don't think
it's
the
give
refs,
and take. I'll also say,
crowned
and I need
themselves
to focus on this. I want to get your opinion on it, right, Shane?
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal about the lack of handshake between like Arteta celebrating with his staff for like literally 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If Emery thought he was taking the piss, then you stand there and make a point of it, right? Emery walked over, shook an official's hand, and walked straight down the tunnel. He didn't hesitate. And it's not the first time he's done it. So I agree that maybe Arteta should go straight towards the opposition manager. But regardless of everything, when Arsenal lost at Villa Park, Arteta went and congratulated every single Villa player. He was on the pitch. So I think it was a lot made out of nothing. When people go, well, Arteta should have done this. No, it doesn't matter. Like, Emery never congratulates. Emery never stays on the pitch. Emery never says thank you to the travelling fans, right?
They're just trying to sensationalise it.
Yeah, I think you probably should. From my personal opinion, I'd like a manager to come over and say thank you to travelling fans. Emery didn't do it at Arsenal either. And it was one thing that I didn't particularly like about him. But Villa fans are fine with it. Again, each manager has a different way of how they react at the end of a game. We've lost to Villa last season to not win the title, essentially. So it was kind of a relief. We lost to them 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, maybe there was a bit of that, come on, high five to your colleagues. Right, now, where's Unai? Where's Unai? Where's he gone? I've only been like 5 seconds. So, again, I don't think it was a major thing either way. But it was funny how it suddenly became a Arteta should go straight over to the manager rhetoric instead. Like, it's not even a story. And how's it twisted into Arteta's the arsehole?
Do you know? Yeah, I mean, not having a club is good because it gives me a bit of a clear perception, a clear mind when I'm kind of deliberating things and critically analysing. And I think Arteta gets a lot of shit. And one of the things is right there, like, oh, he didn't go and shake his hand. I think he was celebrating with his staff because he just battered Villa, who were on an amazing run, and the gulf between the two sides was apparent. Do you know what I mean? And probably at this stage, Kieran, you probably agree with me. At this stage last season, you would have probably bottled it a little bit. There would have been a few more draws in there, maybe a loss. And that's what he's celebrating the most. And I think he does get a bit shit, Arteta. And there's always seems to be these, if he doesn't win it this year, like, come off it. Are you telling me if Arsenal don't win the title this season, they're going to get rid of Arteta with the football he's playing. Like that, it's a bit ridiculous. But I will send you a good video. One of my mates, he's an Arsenal fan. He went to that game, and he had a very, very good video of Emi Martinez walking down the tunnel after the game. I'll send you it, and you won't like it, mate, because there wasn't a lot of nice stuff said to him. You've probably seen it.
But did you see what he did at the start of the game though, beforehand?
Oh, I did not, but I can imagine. Go on, I'm all ears.
You know, when everyone goes out of the tunnels, mainly the staff members at the start of the game have to walk out of the tunnel before the players come out. Emi went out early and did a stretching his legs out all the way from one wall to the other, blocking anyone from walking past him to go and do their actual job. In view of all of the Arsenal fans. So it was a complete deliberate thing of, look at me kind of thing.
He's a dick.
And it backfired. So
especially when he made a mistake. And there
was something else that I wanted to share with you, Shane, because, you know, he can't keep getting away with this. He can't keep getting away with this, can he? Like, look at how far on the pitch he is here. Like, he cannot keep getting away. And this isn't the only one from the game, Shane. Look at him on this one coming up. Look at him on this one, right? Look at how far outside of his technical box. Wait, hang on. That's where the away manager is. That's the away manager.
Oh.
That's not Arteta. That's not Mikel Arteta. But yeah, look, we'll skip past that. I've done my prediction of 3-1 in that game. I just wanted to go on my little mini rant or defense of my club there.
I liked it, mate.
How would you see this one going?
I think, Semenyo, he said he's going to play, right? They said he's going to play. I don't know if he does. I can't imagine someone who they're going to pay £65 million for. They're going to let him play for his old club. I just don't really see it, mate. And even if not, like Semenyo, listen, he's a good player. He's right place, right time. Like the week before last, where he had that back heel goal. He's right place, right time. But before that, he had absolutely nothing. Got marked out of the game. And we've seen last week, mate. Arsenal are a step up. They're a step up. Bournemouth, okay, they are different away from home. They're fairly strong at home compared to their away form. Away form is obviously dreadful. They conceded 4 goals. I still think it'll be routine for Arsenal. I really do. An evening kick-off. Gabriel's back in. Saliba's back in. I see a 3-0, mate. I really do. I just see domination. I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
Nice.
Yes.
Now on to what I think is the game of the week.
Yeah. I tell you what, right now, even though I slate him, and I'm not a big fan, I cannot wait for DCL to bang that clean sheet off of Man United. I can't wait because it's written. It is written. And actually, if DCL played the whole game against Liverpool, I think he would have scored. And he had a good chance at Liverpool. Leeds United, you know yourself, mate. It's a big game. It's a big deal. And they'll be up for this. Leeds have improved. It's going to be a tough place for United to go. United haven't got the best away record, as we know anyway. And you look, quite often Roy Keane says it, a lot of ex-Man United players say it. You look through the spine of that team, and there's no one to take that team by the horns and drag them through a game like this. And I think it might be a bit too much for them. I'm doing it, mate. I'm doing it. Leeds 2-1. I am doing it. Again, they're 1 game away from implosion, United. And again, they're just going to blow up after this, mate. 2-1 Leeds. Come on, Leeds. Come on, DCL. How am I saying this? No wonder people think I hate United. God.
I've written my one before as well, Shane, and I've also got 2-1 Leeds written down.
No way. Oh, wait.
It's funny because if I show you the top of my screen, right, you can see a few of these, right? You can see Wolves 2-1, Leeds 2-1. I had both of them set like that. And in fact, I had Aston Villa 3-1. I've changed it to 2-0. Interesting. But if you look there, I changed Wolves West Ham to 3-2 because I didn't want to copy you, but I'm copying you on this one. But we both think Wolves and Leeds win this weekend, which is, an interesting
We're going to have to put a bet on it. But Jojo in the chat, he's done it as well. Leeds 3-1. Leeds 3-1. Proj 3-1. I'm honestly, after seeing your discomfort zone, I'm considering getting DCL, mate. No wonder it was in. I was watching the pub review earlier, and it was in the review picks. And I'm not surprised because I think they score, mate. I think they score, especially if Martinez isn't fit. They're in trouble because Heaven's a good player, but he's a young lad, and Luke Shaw and him, could be a bloodbath. Right. What did you say? Did you even do your prediction there? Or is it
I said 2-1 as well.
Oh, 2-1, sorry, yeah. Right, on you, Everton Brentford. You've warmed. They've charmed you, Brentford. They have. What are you thinking though? It'll be a tight game, innit? Away Everton.
Sorry, hang on. I'm just going to go back to this, Shane. Brentford away from home.
Oh, I can't see them.
Home.
Oh, 17th. Where
Brentford
Everton
away
home
from
though?
home. Huh?
Where's Everton home?
Our faces are covering them up.
I know, just seeing where they are. 14th though?
Yeah, but they've got 14 points at home compared to Brentford's 6 points away.
Yeah, fair one. Do you see it going like that though? Is it going to be that easy?
Yeah, it's going to be that easy. It's going to be a 1-0 to the Everton.
Yeah, Standard Comms put that in there. Wade's gone 2-1. Do you know what? I'm going to go 1-1. I'm not so sure. I think it will be a tight game, but Everton, they are lacking a lot. And they need players like Joe Garner and that to come through and score goals, which they won't do every single week. So I'm going to go 1-1, mate.
Do you know who we didn't mention as well that I think we need to do a shout out to for the Brighton v Burnley game?
Oh, go on.
Pascal Gross.
He's coming back, right?
He's back already.
Is he done already? Bloody hell, they move fast there. We might.
I think he's done back already. I think he's back already.
I might have to get him in, mate. He might be.
I don't think he's on the game yet. I was looking earlier.
Ah, mate, that's class. Absolute throwback. It's good to see. And with so many people like Minta, apparently there's talk of Minta going to. Is it Spurs going to?
Is it?
Yeah, well, apparently that's why he's not been playing that much recently because his agent's been pushing little things up. So that's why he came on at halftime the other day. And we saw that maybe midfielders, you know, like Mitoma seems to be injured quite a lot and just coming back. Could be an option, mate. Could be an option. Please put him as a defender. That'd be brilliant. KSE's just come in. Happy New Year, mate. Yeah, drop me the questions and we'll cover them near the end, which we're actually just about to come up to.
Right.
Fulham Liverpool, is it me?
For you, yeah.
Listen, I had Leeds to draw against Liverpool Anfield, and they did. Fulham's a tough place to go to, even though they've got 3 players missing for AFCON. Still grinding out wins. Do they get a little bit lucky, Liverpool, and probably get a penalty or something like that? This is actually probably the toughest one that I've thought of this week. I think. Do you know what? I'm going to go. Can I do a Liverpool loss? No, I can't do that, surely. I'm going to go 1-1. Fulham, we've seen on your table that you put, mate, they were 10th for home and 10th for away. That's what they're doing. They're draw specialists, especially at home. I'm going to go 1-1, mate. What are you thinking? I'm actually intrigued to see what you think. A lot of people have gone 2-1 Liverpool. Eddie's gone 2-1 Liverpool. Wade's gone 2-1 Liverpool.
I think it could be even more than that, to be honest. I expect a reaction from Liverpool. I expect a reaction. Yeah. It's about whether it's 3 or 4 for me, to be honest.
No, away to Fulham.
No, to 1. But the thing is, what's often not realised is this has been a lot of games in a row, right? Lots of games. Fulham have. They look tired. They looked really tired against Palace towards the end of that game. And it's not really that surprising because the ages of that Fulham squad, Raul Jimenez is 34.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they've just lost
Kenny
Tete
Tesse's
as well.
30. He's out now, isn't he? Anderson's 29.
Yeah, he's out.
Stan's
gone in.
They're not old. None of them are all old. The majority of them are in their late 20s, but it's a lot of minutes. And I don't know. I'm going to go with 3-1 Liverpool. I'm tempted by 4-1, but I'm going to go 3-1.
I'll stick with mine. I'll just stick with 1-1. But yeah, it's got me thinking because Fulham are a bit tired, but we'll stick with 1-1. Newcastle Palace on you, mate. Newcastle at home again from that, a little better home than they are away. Palace tired, mate. Tired.
Palace are tired. But has Brennan already signed for them?
Well, apparently they had to get him on by 12:30 this evening to play him for tomorrow. I don't think they're playing tomorrow, mate. I don't think so. But he could
It's
be
not tomorrow though, is it? Sunday. It's a Sunday
Oh, it's a good
game
point.
for them.
Sunday, but I think they had to do it by 12:30 tonight. I mean, there's still time.
Sunday at 3:00. What is this nonsense?
Mate, I know there's more at 3:00 on a Sunday than there's on a Saturday. I don't know what's going on there.
We've
missed
also
the
got
festive
Palace
period.
have had what? Palace have had 2 days rest, and Newcastle have had 4 days rest.
Yep.
Wait, Newcastle. When did Newcastle play? They weren't yesterday, were they? No, they were Tuesday.
No, they were Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a lot of rest comparatively. I'm going to go with a. I don't think Palace are going to get battered though. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Newcastle.
I just replying to Nick. Always put in the chat. Late hit. Would you take a hit for Gabriel? Just let us know who you're going to take it for, mate, and we will answer that little puppy. I don't know Newcastle. I mean, they've just. I look at them and they're a bit meh, aren't they? Like Gordon, all right, he got an assist at weekend, but that was it. And Bruno, I don't know what keeper was doing, but he scored. And he's getting a bit more points. They are different, at home. It's a tough place to go to. And what I've noticed, I've put in my notes every single week, is they've been getting the rub of the green. They're at St James's Park, so the rest probably will fall into their pocket a little bit. I probably think there's a penalty there, actually, so I think maybe Gordon could get someone. In terms of scoreline, I think it'll be fairly comfortable. I actually don't see Palace scoring. I just have to think it's either 2 or 3-0. Yeah, they don't get battered. Do you know what? I am going to go 3-0 though on this one. I'm going to go 3-0 Newcastle. I think it's a bit too much for Palace, and it's going to reinforce the point that they do need reinforcements in Glasner. He might get a little bit of money in January, just before
There's a lot of players coming back for Newcastle as well, right? Like Livramento, Trippier.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and I think they'll be, they will be up for it. It's a tough place to go, mate. So, yeah, I'm going to go. I was thinking 2, but I think they'll just get, they'll just nick it up. 3-0. Spurs Sunderland. Tough. Sunderland. I tell you what, I've been looking at your old, one of your old players, the old Xhaka, mate. He's intriguing again, mate. He is.
Listen, I like him more than Enzo Lefebvre still.
Who, Xhaka?
Yeah, I think Lefebvre creates more opportunities, but Xhaka's just everywhere and still creates opportunities.
Spurs Sunderland. You know how that discomfort zone, the amazing when you. And by the way, if you've only just joined the stream, go back and have a look at what Kieran done earlier. It was fantastic. Spurs are shit at getting rid of crosses, corners. They just can't get rid of them. I think this is one where Alderete or Mukulele get a goal. The Spurs score. I think they probably do. I'm gonna go 2-1 Sunderland, mate. I do it. It's making me think I might get Alderete in because I've been looking at it for a little while. I'm going to go 2-1 Sunderland. I am. What are you going to go for?
It's hard because Sunderland aren't as good away from home, but they're not bad away from home either.
And who's going to score? Yeah, I mean, if I've got to defend, I'll stick with 2-1.
Yeah, and Spurs are awful at home, right?
They are. They are.
What did you go for? You went 2-1.
I went 2-1 Sunderland. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm just gonna throw out my Desi of the day.
Oh, here he goes. I've not done a Desi yet. Oh, could be the last one. Well, you go first. Actually, it's you. City Chelsea. This is actually and it's quite fitting that it's the last game of the week. I'd love to. I want to see what you think on this. I'm actually very interested to know. No manager Chelsea.
I think City are just going to be quite comfortable in this game. Again, I'm expecting a reaction from the draw. I'm expecting them to come out of the blocks fast. I'm expecting Haaland's good in big games. And like you were saying, Chelsea without Caicedo are not as structurally sound. And that will open up a lot of opportunities for Foden, etc., to be able to split through the lines.
Again, I've been out of the loop. Is he injured?
I think he's suspended, is he?
Suspended again? Oh, did he get a yellow card? Maybe he got a yellow card then, yeah.
I don't know. I just know he's out. I've been hearing everyone say without Caicedo. So if I'm putting that all in, can Chelsea score? Probably, maybe. Well, City are City do tend to still concede a silly goal.
They
So I think
do.
I'll go with 3-1 to City on this one.
Uh, do you know what? This is pretty easy for me, and this is a key reason why I've held on to one individual, Kieran, and I probably will hold on to him, even though I've got two transfers in hand. Is Foden, mate? I need to check the record, but I'm pretty sure his record against Chelsea is fairly good. It's not as good as Brighton. I'm pretty sure they're Brighton next, though. I think this is a Phil Foden game, mate. I really do. I mean, listen, I don't think I'm going to captain him. I'm like 5%. It's not going to happen. Like Haaland. There's something I've been writing down on Chelsea all season is they progress the ball from defence to midfield very, very well. But if you lose the ball within that transition, especially Chalobah taking it forward, they're in a lot of trouble, big trouble. Because apart from Chalobah, they're not the fastest at backtracking. And I think it's going to be a bit of domination, mate. I really do. I'm going to go. It's quite big. I'm going to go 4-0 City.
That
Yeah,
is big.
I am. No manager. I think they're going to get an early goal, and I think they're just going to go to pieces. And I don't know if it was Maresca last week doing it, but what are you doing playing Achampong right back? I know James might have been rested, but what are you doing? What was it, 18? He's not even played that many minutes. You play him as right back. I mean, we've seen quite often. We had it when Dunfermline, Neil Lennon was banned for 6 game weeks because he said that the referees were shit. And by the way, they were ultra shit. He was just telling the truth. But it's a different, it is a big difference when the coach is away from the team. Even though they can kind of speak and do signals, it makes a big change. And Pep, tactical masterclass, I think they're just going to batter him, mate. 4-0. 4-0, baby. And Haaland captain, yeah, it's never really in doubt. If you're thinking about going against them this week, I'd maybe have a bit of caution there. Like you're saying, he turns up in the big games, mate. He's going to want a reaction because he was pissed after last game week. Yeah, it could be a big one, mate.
Nice. All right. Well, look, let's move on to our plans for the week, Shane. I think you might be up first on this one. So there we are. Do you want to talk us through your team, the moves you're making?
Yeah, I mean, again, I was saying to you earlier, we need a little bit of patience because we don't want to knee jerk. And the last 2 game weeks there's not been many points for everybody. So don't go too crazy and make big changes unless you're fully sure that they're the changes for better. And you brought it up, mate. We're in a bit of a transitional flux period in FPL, where you're going to want, a little bit more data, a little bit more eye test to see. And I think I want one more game week to have a little look, and from then attack certain fixtures. But I will be making a few changes. The guys that are staying, I'm going to keep all of the back line bar O'Reilly. O'Reilly's coming out. It was probably a bit of a bad move on my part. He was just a flavour of the month. He has to go. He's too expensive. I think they're going to get battered, so there's no reason to play him. He might not even play. He had a bad game week last week, so he's coming out. In terms of the remainder, I am going to keep Chalobah because he does churn out some 10, 11 pointers and he does score goals. I'll have to see how Rosinha plays, but for now, he's probably one that most people want to keep. Midfield is the tough one for me, mate. Saka, he's going nowhere. This could be a game, actually, where he gets a few goals or a goal and assist. It's been a long time coming. The eye test is showing us that it is coming, and the data says that as well. This could be the game where it finally happens. If not, mate, as an Arsenal fan, he's going to go for me. And I know he's been taken over with 6 pointers or 5 pointers, but it's not enough for the price. It's not. You could get, a DEFCON guy or...
Yeah, he's not worth the money.
He's not. Currently, he's not.
He'll get a haul. He's definitely going to get a haul, but
that's the thing.
He didn't have a shot on target in the last game and we scored 4 goals.
That's the thing. And even, again, they have to manage his injury. If they're going to win the league, they still have to manage him. So, again, he might not play within that period. But that's kind of the same as a parallel as Foden for me. He's going to haul soon. He's going to haul. And we were talking earlier, he's in that purple patch. He's out. When's he going to come back? For me, again, he could be on the chopping block as well. But for now, Foden, I think he played really, really well against Chelsea. Like you said, if Caicedo's out, we have a lot of space, especially in that 10. Rodgers is staying. Forest, they still conceding goals, so he's going to stay. Gordon at home to Palace. I can't not start him. That's what I brought him in for. I've got to follow the process. Ekitike obviously starts up top. And Haaland, yeah, he's going to get the captaincy. The moves that I'm thinking of making is an Everton defender. If it is, though, it'd probably be for LaCroix. I think until Palace maybe get some reinforcements or come out this period where it's a game every 4 or 5 days, I think Lacroix might come out. And then what I want to do, Kieran, I've been thinking about this, is I want to attack. I'm probably going to play max four. I'm not going to play five at the back. Probably a three with a 3-5-2, and I'm going to go for those defenders that have got a little bit more. Definitely going to get DEFCONs. Clean sheets are definitely in there because you need clean sheets. Ask any Virgil van Dijk owners. But that goal threat, I'm going to really, really attack the next kind of 3, 4, 5 game weeks with big, big goal threat. But the moves I'm thinking about making this weekend, mate, is probably just that one, the Everton one. And I just want to probably keep a transfer in total. I was thinking originally taking out Saka and replacing him, it would have been Rice, but obviously he's not going to play. So I think I want another week of just to chill out a little bit, have a little bit of patience. Because on paper, apart from maybe Chalobah and here and Lacroix, it's a half decent team. I don't like the double Brentford defence. I don't like relying on that. So that's why I think. I mean, I could always swap O'Reilly and upgrade my midfielder. Do you know what I mean? Get a cheapish midfielder or an Anderson. Again, he's playing Villa, so it's probably not the best one to bring him in. But yeah, I'm fairly open. But one move will definitely be getting made, mate. Thoughts, feedback, good bits, bad bits, mate. What's your thoughts? It's hard this game week. I think. We've gone through the scores, and I think points will be hard to come by again this week. Actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I think. Look, at Craig Garner, I know he got points in the last game week, but he's actually been decent recently. Is a decent midfield option when you're looking to get some money, just as an alternate to an Anderson. So I think a Xhaka or a Craig Gardner need to be taken into consideration as well. But yeah, I like that move. Again, it makes sense for you to do it, given some of the other players you have, but it wouldn't make sense to take a hit this game week. And I think that's the key thing. Like, are there players you'd rather have? Sure, but none that are worth 4 points.
No, and what I would have liked to do actually is do a double defence swap of Lacroix and O'Reilly, but I'm not going to play more than 4 at the back, so there's no point. I don't need to do it this week. Two transfers in hand are way better than what you have to take a hit money wise, everything like that. So yeah, I know a little bit of data, but I think in terms it's fine. Captaincy again is probably going to stay in Haaland. I could risk it before him, but he's hurt me in the past, Kieran. He's probably hurt you in the past, mate. So, yeah, I'm optimistic, mate. And, yeah, moving forward, I'm excited, mate. I'm excited. I need to try and catch you up.
Nice. Well, you said you're not going to play 5 at the back, but I am.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
Hang on, I'm just going to... Do you like what I've managed to start doing here with the little layouts as we're going through this?
What, like a Christmas
tree?
No,
I mean our screen layout. Having the person whose team it is there, and then the other one piercing off to the viewers, corner on a smaller circle.
The viewers. Talk about your team. It looks very backy.
Look, there's flags already, which you don't quite want when you've had a wild card. I've also got some hair in my mouth, so I covered my mouth up there to cough. So that wasn't fun. I think I've got the cat in my mouth. Yeah, look, Pickford in goal against Brentford. I like that. The double up with Tarkowski. Van der Ven against Sunderland. It's one of the 3 games I'd earmarked him for. Sunderland at home, I think, slightly better. See, my voice is going out. Although I had predicted 2-2. Gabriel starting. I did have Wirtz on the pitch, and I had Dorgu as my first bench, to be honest, because I'm not quite fancying Dorgu against Leeds as much as I did when I bought him in. I might still do that. Like, Gabriel was on the bench, but I like him more than Dorgu. He might start. Again, I'm happy to have Rodgers this week. I like having Gordon this week. Christmas tea. Sorry, I just read Prodigy's comment of cat in your mouth. There's a joke there. I was thinking the same thing as I said it. Should have said cat hair. Even that's not going to help, is it? Because that can still be changing into something else.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm fine with the team. Haaland looks good. Team's solid this week. Shirky being benched, I could start him over Dorgu as well, thinking about it. There's a few different things here. I guess the premise is I like the team for this week. I think it's overall solid. I think it's, if anything, a little bit of a benching headache. So, yeah, nothing really to report.
Well, I mean, you're playing 5 at the back. It's pretty goddamn big to report. 5 at the back, man. It's funny because a lot of the time we've got 5 players I think here that are the same, 5 or 6, and again we don't really speak during the week, which actually I think helps us because we kind of morph and you'd morph and be like, oh, what about this player, and you get in someone's head. So it's quite interesting to see the players that we've got or we get for the week or thoughts, and we're intertwining, which is really good. The thought did cross my mind, like I was saying, I could do 2 defensive transfers and play 5 at the back, but I'd want to be a bit more attacking.
I think we've only got 4 players the same now, Shane.
Rogers, TK, Haaland, Gordon, and it's 4. No, it is. Yeah.
4 out of 15 is not many.
Maybe it's 5. I might get Turkos again
because we can rule Haaland out, right? Like Haaland just gets ruled out straight away.
Yeah.
And Gordon, when you get Gabriel, that'll be ruled out because Gabriel's the best player in the game.
Yeah. I mean, I have to.
After Bournemouth's out the way, he just has to be brought in. Even for Liverpool, Liverpool's a great game for him.
I mean,
we're going to win 3-0 against Liverpool.
We were saying that last week. I mean, again, he could have got even more. Remember, he had his clean sheet wiped, so that could have been absolutely massive. And again, against Liverpool,
he didn't have his clean sheet wiped.
Oh no, sorry, he came off. But he could even get any more. But the Liverpool game, I agree with you, mate. He could be deadly, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to get.
Well, it's getting late, Shane. So shall we jump into the questions? Because I need to get to sleep.
Yeah. We've only got
some cough medicine, and it's hitting hard.
Either way, I like the team, mate. It's a good team. Looks promising for the week, mate. Maybe top 1,000.
We'll see.
Right, let's delve into the questions.
We'll see what Josh
We've only got a few. It says, hello guys, which transfer is better with 2 free transfers? O'Reilly and Tav to Gabriel and Paqueta? Not for me. Or O'Reilly, Cash and Tavernier to Gabriel and Garner? Not for me. Or O'Reilly to Gabriel and Cash? Bench Tavernier. I'd do the last one. What would you do, Kieran? I wouldn't go near Paqueta or Garner, but that's just me.
I'm fine with Garner. You got 2 free transfers.
I'd maybe try and keep one. I like the last one.
Information's more important than transfers are valuable. And being able to the fact you can do O'Reilly to Gabriel without anything else, it seems good. Cash, I think you're going to want Matty Cash off. Well, I think Matty Cash is a good option.
Yeah.
I think Matty Cash is a good player. Like Villa's fixtures that are coming up, Matty Cash is a good option. Good player.
So I do the last one, mate. I do the last one. Right. Heather says, who would you transfer? I like the Yee as well, Scottish. Who would you transfer in first? Tarkowski or Bruno G?
You know what? Do you know how stupid this is, Shane?
Go on.
When you said I like the Yee, Scottish, I was about to say do it in a Scottish accent then, forgetting that you are Scottish. And you have a Scottish accent.
Put it on more.
That's how much the cold medicine's hitting me. I forgot you were Scottish for a second. You're sitting there in a Scotland shirt with a Scottish accent, and I forgot you were Scottish.
I know him, bro, but yeah.
Cliche
Scottish. Who would you go for?
Who would you do first?
Tarkowski.
Yeah, same. Like Palace, not probably the best entry for it. Tarkowski, you probably got a 4-point floor. Bruno
does have 2 home games in a row, right?
Yeah, but Newcastle have shitloads of fixtures this month. Shitloads of fixtures. They've got a semi-final of a League Cup, 2 legs of that. They've got Champions League games that they need to win to get into the knockout stages of that. And they've got Premier League games. Like, what's the important game? That's the one thing I'm nervous about having 2 Newcastle. Don't know the games they're going to play.
I know.
Lots of games this month for them.
Eddie, happy New Year, Eddie, mate. Which 2 to start? O'Reilly, Dallo, or Mukiele? Oh, choose your poison.
The last 2.
Yeah, I would do the last 2.
Definitely mainly because I don't. I think Gvardiol could start this City-Chelsea game.
He could, mate. He looked good. Maybe we kind of want to get it, but he's too expensive. FPL Proj, good to see you, mate. I was on a space with Proj the other day, mate. Really good. If you see him, tune in. Proj says, is Saka a good captain option away at the Cherries? Kieran, I'll let you go first on that, mate. You're the Arsenal fan.
He's not terrible, but I wouldn't go there. Like he does have an incredible record against Bournemouth. Like Iraola's still a good manager. At the moment, like we just won 4-1 against Villa and Saka got nothing. he could now in this game, we could win 2-0 and he could get both the goals, right? Like that's the kind of way that it could go. But is he a captain? Yep. No, not when this just feels like it doesn't feel like a good enough player to go against Haaland this week. And Saka definitely doesn't feel that for me.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's not a big... It's too much of a risk, and he's not really proven himself this year. Do you know what I mean? It would be a little bit out of character to smash him one game week. Eddie says, do I stick with Grealish or sell to Paqueta? Got one free transfer, 0.3. No, in my straight down the line, no. The Paqueta is a full knee job. I know Andy, Let's Talk, brought him in. Listen, we all get lucky, and I think he even said at the time, he only brought him in because he plays 90. You know, to get a goal and assist, for me, mate, he's not going to get anywhere near that for the next 5, 6, 7 game weeks. Unless you think any different, Kieran. I'd keep Grealish. I think he's quite good. He's the main attacking outlet for Everton.
Yeah. He seems fine to me.
And he says, who'd start in the team? Raya, Gabriel, Tarkowski, O'Reilly, Dallo, Cunha, Foden, Grealish, Haaland, Ekitike, Bowen. And on the subs, he's got Dubravka, Mukiele, Rice, and King. So any of those subs, would you swap in for his
Yeah,
team?
Eddie asked us earlier, would you start out of Mukiele, O'Reilly, and Dallo? We said Mukiele and Dallo. Mukiele. So that's what I changed.
Podge said, what will be a good score this week? Everyone gets you a green arrow, Podge. Even if that's 25.
What do you think it would be, though, Shane? Out of interest, what do you think it would be?
You know, I still think it will be low. I think, what was it this week? 46 or something?
40 this week,
fact, it was so it was even lower. I'm going to go slightly more. I'm going to go 58. Where are you going to go?
I don't think it'll be quite that high. I think he's probably got it about right. I think like 50, 54 is probably about right. But that's provided like Haaland gets... That's if Haaland gets like double digits, right? If Haaland gets double digits and captains, I think he's 24 points. I think it's 30 points outside of Haaland's probably what people are looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, better than last two for me anyway. And then finally, Eddie says, would you do -4 O'Reilly out to Hall and Grealish to Cherky or Bruno G? I wouldn't do that. Kieran, would you? No. I mean, you could do the Hall, but again, they've got a lot of games coming up in that as well. So, no, I would just hold. I'd hold Grealish, Eddie. I think it's a good differential, mate. Right, listen, that's
and also Hall's flagged and his minutes are at risk with other players coming back.
Yeah, and he has been as well. Listen, that's us. That's the New Year stream done, mate. Kieran, it's been a pleasure as usual. Again, if you've liked something, you've enjoyed it, please do like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're on the way to 1,000, Kieran, 1,000 subs. We're getting there. We're getting there a little bit slowly, but a little injection from the guys and girls that have watched today or tomorrow, whenever you're watching, that would be most welcome, mate. Kieran, listen, I'll let you close the show out because you are winning.
Let's not let me close the show out when I can barely speak. We'll leave you to close it out.
Okay, I'll close it out. Listen, everyone, have a great game week. We'll interact with you during the week. We'll see you next week for FDR Decoder is back. The fixture decoder is back. I'll be doing some skiing videos again, so look out for them. And yeah, I hope you have a very, very happy...
What time's deadline?
What time's what?
What time's deadline? Is it 11, I guess?
It's 11. So hope you have a happy New Year, 2026, and good luck for the weekend. Kieran, I'll see you later, mate.
See you later. Cheers all.